Hey folks, this is Vince with Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Aspera. This is a game that you can find on Steam for about 30 bucks or so. There is a DLC as well that you can get for about, I want to say $5, $6, something like that. It's called Blue Mars. I don't have that. I did just complete the full game, and I wanted to sort of revisit this as a review because I covered this game 5 years ago, but I didn't actually finish it. Now that I've got about 25 to 30 hours on record, and this playthrough consisting of about 13 hours, I think I'm ready to sort of weigh in on it fully. So, this is a game that you can either play campaign or sandbox, and for the record, I played campaign just to get my feet wet until I want to come back to it sandbox at some point. And you're an AI. You are in charge of terraforming Mars, and I love games like this. I love like Terraformers, which is the digital board game of sorts. I like Terraforming Mars, the board game. I like Surviving Mars. Anything that has to do with terraforming a planet. Planet Crafter is another one. I love games like that. So if you enjoyed terraforming and watching the planet change as you do it, then by all means, this is a decent game to get. So you're going to be placing various structures down, and this is absolutely resource management, the game. You're going to have a lot of different resources that you're going to be mining off the surface of Mars and then refining it into like parts or electronics, whatever. Eventually, you'll have to get ice so that you can like make food because you're going to be transporting colonists over to the surface of Mars at some point to assist in your research. And there is a research tree. There's 3 branches in the beginning. A 4th one becomes unlocked once you get into the whole combat thing. And I don't want to spoil that too much. Just keep in mind, there is a story and I don't want to like ruin that because there's a lot of dialogue in this and I really don't want to mess that up by spoiling too much. But there is combat, meaning you'll have to build drones and you'll have to like set them out to destroy enemy bases. But we'll get into that in a little bit. There are meteor showers, and the biggest thing that the game teaches you early on is that you need to power everything. Like there's a radius for your power buildings, a radius for your maintenance buildings. And most of my playtime was spent like making sure that my power and my maintenance were covering every single structure that I had in case of breakdowns or whatever. But like I said, a lot of this game, at least in the campaign, is narrative. So expect a lot of interruptions when you're doing something important. It's just constant. And sometimes the game even cuts away annoyingly and deselects what you were doing. So you have to find where you were and sort of, make up for it and try and figure out what you were doing. But anyway, the whole combat thing, it's pretty simple. You're going to be building these drone bays, I guess, and it's like a radius, and it will automatically attack. It shoots lasers or whatever at nearby enemies, but you can also build drones themselves and send them out. The selection of these drones is finicky. So selecting one and like verifying that you've selected it is almost non-existent. Like the only way I knew I had selected a group, is my cursor changed like to a different graphic type. That's all. There was no like confirmation that I had selected something. So I think drone control could have been a bit more, I don't know, intuitive or implemented in a way that was less, I don't know, frustrating. But ultimately, like I said, you're going to be encountering enemy bases as you unlock different parts of Mars and get progressively further in the story. And you're just going to send drones to their base, and your drones will just sort of wipe them out systematically. Now, the whole goal, like I said, is to terraform Mars, and at some point, waters will start rising and will be destroying structures that you had in flood zones. So that's another thing that you have to worry about is like resources and scientific locations that are on the surface of Mars may be flooded at some point. So it's up to you as to whether or not like you want to wait on terraforming until you've like mined everything from those locations, or it's up to you. I put it on a forgiving difficulty to where resources were plentiful, so I really didn't have to worry about that. All I had to worry about was, is my building in a flood zone? And before I place a building, it actually, like, the tooltip says flood zone, so I know. So the only time I put things in a flood zone is when, like, I'm prepared to lose it. And it's just a chain of, like, worker hubs and getting to resources that I normally wouldn't be able to get to. But yeah, like, the game is a lot of fun, and I highly recommend it. It's, again, about 12, 13 hours as far as a campaign is concerned. But the DLC supposedly adds ways to get to points of interest on water spaces that were previously or that are flooded right now. So it doesn't add a whole lot to the game as far as based on what I've read. But you know, if getting to locations after it's been flooded is important to you, then you may want to check out the whole Blue Mars DLC thing. I do recommend this game. There are 3 different endings based on what I've seen, and I chose the one. Don't know about the other 2. From my understanding, if you choose the one, you actually have to destroy your old base, which is weird. But again, if you once you get used to the story, you'll see why that's happening. But anyway, per Aspera, definitely recommend it on a sale. $30 is a bit much now, but when it's on a deep sale, go pick it up. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. Catch y'all next time. Take care.